As summer temperatures begin to rise and staying cool becomes the name of the game, my biggest concern becomes, where can we find some water to cool down with? Well, that and who's got the cold beers? This means seeking out those ice-cold alpine lakes and their surrounding rivers and streams for us to dip our feet into or dive in head first. And there's no better way to do that than with a great group of friends, both old and new. So come along with us as we do just that in this week's Adventure Journal, A Journey to Bowman Lake.
Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Ben. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back in the 4Runner, ready to hit the road for a quick overnight trip. This time though, we're heading towards Tahoe National Forest, meeting up with a great group of folks, and camping right on a lake. It's gonna be pretty special. I've got the paddleboard with me. We'll see if we can get it in the water, and we'll bring you along for every step of the way. Well, here's one of the most common themes of every trip we take. It is sitting at the pump waiting to fuel up. I have a lot of folks ask me, hey, you've got the lift, the big tires, you carry a lot of weight on your vehicle. What do you get in terms of fuel economy? And, well, I'll just say that this is a common sight for a reason. We don't do great. It's sort of a fact of life that I've learned to deal with. I'll typically be able to average somewhere around 12 miles per gallon to get to the trailhead, and then once you're off-road, all bets are off. You start burning through fuel pretty quick. So let's see how far this tank can take us. All right, so we finally made it off pavement here. Bowman Lake Road, Forest Service Route 18. The first few miles of it are paved and it's packed with people right now. Folks are accessing the South Fork of the Yuba River, all of these different smaller lakes that you're passing by on your way up here. But that paved road just ended. We're gonna take this opportunity to air down, smooth out the ride a little bit, and then we've still got a few miles to go before we reach our destination. All right, I don't know if you're even gonna be able to hear any of this because it is super windy out here, but we have made it to Bowman Lake. It is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful day, low 80s, but our road is not done yet. We're going to keep heading this way past Bowman Lake, see if we can make it to a smaller lake, Sawmill, I think it's called Sawmill Lake, where some folks have already set up camp. So just a little bit of time here to enjoy the scenery, enjoy the views. Way down at that end, we've got the dam that is creating this lake. Holy cow, it's incredible. All right, guys, so we made it here to the Canyon Creek Campground right by Sawmill Lake. It's an awesome campground, actually. There's tons of space for everyone. You are dispersed camping, but they've got pit toilets here. There is tons of these giant conifers for shade, and even some dry creeks, things to play around in. Pull out the RC cars, do a little rock crawling here. Before we get camp set up here, pop the iKamper, get dinner going, we're actually gonna get the whole crew rounded up to head down to Fouchery Lake, which is just another mile down this road. Play around for a little bit, waste a little bit more daylight, then we'll come back and get it going. All right, so we've been back at camp for a while now, just sort of hanging out, drinking some beers, enjoying the company. We're about to lose daylight here though, so it is time for us to get going on dinner, and I'm keeping it super simple tonight with some skewers. Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, June 28th, about 7 in the morning, and the sun is coming up. The wind is starting to pick up here. It's time to get coffee going. All right, with coffee made, it's time to move on to breakfast. This morning, we're doing another delicious, easy, savory breakfast. We're gonna whip up some chorizo. We're gonna whip up some potatoes. We may throw an egg or two in there, and it's gonna be killer. Let's do it. All right, so a meal like this definitely takes a little bit longer if you're using fresh potatoes. One way to speed this up is to just use some dehydrated hash browns. Use some of those pre-chopped, frozen bags of potatoes. Those will cook up real quick. But we can expedite the process of frying up potatoes by covering them and letting that steam cook them as well. So we should be ready to roll here in another 5-10 minutes. check that out. It is time for me to dive into breakfast, finish up my coffee, and then we'll pick you back up. All right, so I just had an epiphany. Rooftop tents are always a battle against condensation. No matter what you do, I feel like given the right conditions, you're gonna wake up in a tent that's a little bit wet. Typically what this means is I pack things up at camp, I get home and I pop the tent again to air out, let everything dry out. But I figured, I'm cooking breakfast, I'm done in the tent. What I did here is I left it open, got all the windows open and propped up the mattresses so that things can start airing out here at camp. I'm gonna give it a little time and then we'll see if we even have to let it air out once we get home. This could be a pretty nice way to make the post-camp cleanup even easier. So I don't know why I didn't think about this sooner. Folks, that is a wrap for our trip to Bowman Lake. I want to give a huge shout out to my buddy Alvin at Eminence Expeditions on Instagram for setting up this trip and offering me the invite. I had such a great time. If you like this video, it is a huge help to give it that thumbs up. And if you're new here, consider subscribing and sticking around for a while. We'd love to have you. And if you're interested in helping us put a little gas in the tank, you can head over to ouradventureoverland.com. I'll throw a link in the description where we've got some hats and shirts for sale right now and some stickers and patches dropping soon. Until next time though, get out and explore somewhere.